All right, so the project for today is this windshield. We are going to try to replace it. The rubber on this is terrible, and so Luke, the guy in New Jersey, had a bunch of these rubber parts remanufactured. So he worked with a company that does rubber products. They've remanufactured this gasket now. So this gasket is in extremely bad repair. You can see here that there's a bunch of cracks in it where there's literally holes in it where the wind whistles through. So when we took it to Mexico, we actually taped some of those holes off so it wouldn't whistle so much. So anyway, we're going to replace this today. The company that did the side glass for us, they do glass, but they said they won't do anything that's curved. And so this is obviously a curved windshield, so there's probably going to be a little bit of challenge getting it in. We've never done this before. We have been talked through it with Luke. We talked to him on the phone a few days ago, and he explained how to do it all and sent us all the tools to do it with. And there's plastic tools and a tool to do this. It's called a lock strip. So he sent us the lock strip tool, and so we feel like we're ready to do it. So we'll have to remove these windshield wipers and probably this antenna, and hopefully it won't give us too much trouble. We've bought suction cups and things to help us with the install, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so before we start the glass, before we start taking everything apart, we just want to be sure that we have all the right tools. So we bought these glass suction cup thingies because in order to pull the glass out, we know it's going to be kind of heavy and awkward, and so we thought if we have a couple handles, it might make it at least a little manageable. This tool right here is to put in the locking strip. So Luke sent us that, plus this plastic splunger to try to get the window itself seated. We've also bought 3M auto bedding and glazing compound. So we've got 3 tubes of that. And that's what they use to put in the side windows when we have the side windows done. We've also got the rubber. So Luke sent the new rubber, and so it does have the T. You can see the T there. So we'll be putting that in, and we've got to check the glass. So here's the glass here, and it came all the way from, I think, New Jersey. So anyway, so the story is, when we talked to Luke, he said, look, shipping glass is super expensive because it's big and it's awkward, so it's this box here. And so he said, check with local places and see if you can get the glass there or if they do installs. And so we did. We called Coach Glass, and they said, surprisingly, that they do have the glass for this bus. So they have glass for it, and it's available, but it is in Las Vegas, and so they were going to have to charge us $350 to ship it from Las Vegas to Phoenix. And so we said, okay, you know, that's not so bad. And so they said, you know, give us a little bit of time and we'll come back with a quote and everything and tell you what it's going to cost. And so they did. So they called me back the next day and said, it's in Las Vegas, it would cost $350 to ship. So that's on top of the already $1,500 it's going to cost to put it in. And so I thought that was a bit high. I don't know, it just $1,850 seemed like a lot to have a window or windshield installed. And so I called Luke back and said, hey Luke, you know, here's the quote I got. It's $1,850. How much do you charge for glass? And they're going to charge me $350 for shipping anyway. So if your shipping is anywhere near $350, then I think we're going to have a pretty good thing. And so he looked it up and he said, you know, I sell the glass for $185 a side. And so I was like, whoa. So $370 for both sides. That's a full windshield. So our windshield is split down the middle. So $370 for the full windshield. And then I think it was either $100 or $200 for the new rubbers. And so so we're going to give it a try. Even if we break this and order another one, it's still going to be cheaper than paying Coach Glass $1,850 to do it. So altogether we're $724 shipped, and we did ship it freight. With something this big, it cost about $150 more to have them bring it to the house as opposed to just keeping it at UPS Freight. So we went and picked it up from UPS Freight. That's in Phoenix. It's not too far away. It's about 30 minutes away or so, so it's not too bad. And so we went and picked it up, and it is a lot cheaper if you ship freight. So anyway, these are the tools we're going to use. We have no idea what we're doing. We've watched a few videos online, and so we're hopeful that we can get it in. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, here we go. He's trying to remove the locking strip. Let's see if we can pull the old... Oh my gosh. Okay, I guess we're gonna have the same situation we had with the D windows. That's fun. To be perfectly honest, we've been pretty nervous to start this project. We've actually had the glass for a while, but we've put off this project for a couple reasons. One, I mean, obviously we were finishing up all the solar, but we've had a lot of rain this winter, and so we didn't want to start it when it seemed like every weekend there was at least a chance of rain. But also we know that if we kind of mess this up, then I don't know how we're gonna drive the bus if we don't have a windshield for a little bit of time, if we had to order another one. But Juan said he'd just put on his motorcycle helmet and drive. So anyway, wish us luck. Here we go.
Okay, well, yeah, it's gotten off to a rough start. Oh man, this is literally...
It's just cracking off.
Yeah, like this isn't the part that's supposed to come off.
Right, that's not the locking strip.
The locking strip is the part that's supposed to come off. Okay, there we go. Okay, lift that up and out. Okay, cool.
Alright, so on this brittle rubber, turns out hammering with the awl and the mallet seems to be the trick to get this stuff off. Okay, we think he's almost got all of the locking strip out, so it should be just about ready to try and pull the glass off. Hopefully it doesn't just fall off.
Okay.
What do you think? Does it feel loose? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to... Is the ladder in the right position?
No, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I don't think that's how you're supposed to use a ladder.
I think when you're a cowboy.
I don't know what to say to you. So weird.
Alright. This is out.
Okay.
We're ready to pull this thing out of here. Right.
Oh my gosh.
Don't stand too close to it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna come over here.
Okay, here we go. Oh god, I wish I was taller. There we go. Okay. There it is. One out. We're gonna have to see how we're gonna clean this up.
Oh my gosh.
So, oh, there we go. Just like that. So, this is the old stuff, and it is basically like plastic. But it should just come right off. Yeah, it's coming right off. So we'll clean this up, clean up the lip, and then see about putting the new one on. Alright, so we were told when we first started this by Luke to go ahead and mark the center, because if you don't find the center, it's really hard to get it back in alignment. So we've marked the center here and on the outside, just so we can know where to put the new gasket back in. So the old gasket is almost out. We're working on getting this center piece out, and then that should be it for the old gasket. So it's being kind of a bear, but I think we'll get it out here in a minute. Alright, so we're back at it this morning. We had to stop yesterday because it was starting to get dark, and so we put up this Reflectix just to kind of have something in the window. Anyway, the project today is try to get this thing on here. We've got church today, so we're under a little bit of deadline. We're going to try to finish this if we can today. So we've got the gasket on. We did struggle a little bit with this middle part. There's the channel actually has two little things that pop out, and then this little rubber thing has grabbers. And so what we had to do is fit it in and then kind of get under it and go up the whole way. But it ended up going in fairly nicely. We have tape to keep it in place because it keeps wanting to fall out. But we did, at Luke's suggestion, make a little mark to see where this thing would land. And so I think we've got that in the right place. And so now we just got to put the glass in. So it should be nice and easy.
We did it! We got one side in! Woo! So, what Luke told us is to start at the bottom, so insert it down into the channel of the gasket down at the bottom to let gravity help it sink in, and then just work it around. And that's what we did. We started at the bottom and then we worked it around up the sides, around the top, and then kind of up in the center, and it just got really hard right at this last corner. It got really, really hard, but we got it. So luckily we actually ended up using these that are for bicycles. We used that plus this one that Luke sent us. And I was able to kind of work with one of them on the inside, and he'd be working with it on the outside, and between the two of them, I think we got it all seated correctly.
Yep, feels like it.
Feels pretty solid.
Alright, so we got it in. Sitting on the scaffolding was a huge thing because the glass is pretty heavy, and we could set it down in the channel and kind of work it little by little. I didn't have to be holding it over my head or anything. We could just be here, and the handles made a huge difference. So I think we've got it all in. I'm trying to make sure that the channel is all open so that we're able to get in the channel, and it looks like we will be able to. So there's a little strip that goes in here that locks it all in. So so it looks like it's all open enough. I've been using this little it's a tire tool for bicycles, and we got it in there and it seems to be good. So we did this corner last, which was really hard because it's sharp, and but it got in. So we're gonna try the next one, we'll see. All right, well, the good news is the glass is in. The bad news is it cracked. So we've got a crack all the way down. So the first one went in really well. It only took us probably, I don't know, maybe an hour, a little over that, fighting it to get it on. And then the second one, I think because the center rail stiffened, because that other glass was in place, it was just a lot harder to get in. And so we were using plastic tools to try to kind of shimmy it in there, and I think it just was a little too much, and it just barely made a little, and then all of a sudden, like, as we pushed and pulled and tried to get it in place, it just ended up cracking the entire way down. So we're gonna have to get a new piece of glass. We'll call tomorrow. For now, we're just gonna put this one in. We're gonna put the lock bead in. We're not gonna put any of the bedding compound or anything like that in. We're just gonna have it in. We're gonna go ahead and put the locking bead in, and just so it won't fall out or anything like that, and order a new one, and hopefully it'll get here pretty quickly and we can get this one changed out. All right, so we're about to put the locking strip in. That's the second part of this. And so it looks like this, and we got this tool. Should we start in the middle maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so the tool just opens up that, and then he just so you can see how it's pushing the stuff into place. So that's locking this guy in here.
Okay, so we're at the very end piece here, and we cut it just a little long so that it doesn't shrink back and leave a gap. And now we're just kind of working in this last little bit with the plastic tool.
Looks like it's in there. Yeah, it's in there.
So we still have to do this center channel.
All right, so lesson learned on this. This tool is invaluable. So what we found was the easiest was to feed it through and then have someone keep this straight and keep pressure up, like kind of almost push it into the channel for you, and then just slide it down in. So it's been working pretty good. And then the soapy water too is a huge thing, just to kind of give it something to, so it kind of fits in. So also getting it started is the hardest part.
There.
Okay, push it really hard. Okay. Yeah, see, that's gonna have to be pushed up a little harder. Can you put, there you go. There, that's good. Okay, now just push it.
Okay. Okay.
All right, well the glass is in. We've put the locking strip and the rubber all in. It's in and it's secure. So we did break that piece of glass, so it wasn't exactly a win. It still looks way better than it did before. So we're gonna try to find a new piece of glass, and we'll have to redo that one, but it was a learning experience. We pushed a little too hard and cracked the little piece of glass, but we'll do better on the next one.
All right, take two. This piece of glass cracked when we installed it, but we've been driving around with it anyway for a few weeks, and we got a new piece of glass sent to us, so we are getting ready to take this one out and see if we can get the new piece of glass in without any cracks this time. So we've removed the locking strip from this side and this centerpiece, and now we're going to try and remove this piece of glass and get the next one installed. Okay, we got it in, no cracks. Honestly, we didn't really do much different this time than we did the last time, other than, I mean, when it cracked last time, it was because we just kind of I think we got in a little bit of a hurry to try and finish it, and we just put a lot of pressure with the little tool kind of all in one place, trying to get that last little portion up into the gasket. So we just made sure we took our time, that we didn't, you know, kind of crank down on it too hard. We also think maybe it helped that it's warmer now than it was a few weeks ago, and so the rubber is softer and more pliable. So maybe that helped some, but it's in, thank goodness. So we have to just reattach the locking strip, and then we'll call it done. And we did have to eat the cost of having another piece of glass shipped to us, but like we said in the beginning, it was still way cheaper than having someone local do the glass and install it for us. So we're calling that a win in our book, and now we know how to do it, and we're really happy with that we were able to finish this project.